This is the Fall 2018 Equal Justice Works webinar presented by the Office of Career and Student Development at Elon Law, and Jennifer McCraney, Director of Career Development, will be presenting this webinar and will provide information on what Equal Justice Works is and how to apply.
Thanks, Dean Duncan. I appreciate the opportunity to share this fantastic public service employment opportunity with our 2Ls and 3Ls in particular. Equal Justice Works is the largest public service conference and career fair in the United States. It's been going on for over 30 years. Each October, the last weekend of October, I actually attended as a law student when I went to Emory Law and got a summer job offer out of it. So it's a fantastic way for students who are interested in public service career opportunities, both 2Ls seeking summer job opportunities and 3Ls seeking postgraduate job opportunities, to connect with public service employers from across the United States. Each year, about 175 to 180 employers participate, and that means there are about 2,800 job interview opportunities for both 2Ls and 3Ls to connect with employers. This year's conference is going to take place in Arlington, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C., on October 26th and 27th. One of the most important things for students to know right now is that the deadline to register for the conference in order to participate in the pre-scheduled interview selection process is coming up soon. It's Friday, September 14th at midnight Eastern Time. You can register later if you just want to participate in the conference workshops and table talk, which I'll explain what that is in just a moment, as late as Friday, October 26th. But it really is important for students to keep in mind that Friday, September 14th deadline if they would like to connect one-on-one with employers for interview opportunities. One great thing about this conference is that in addition to the pre-scheduled interview opportunities, students have the chance to connect with employers at something called Table Talk, where every single employer on both Friday and Saturday, they all sit in a huge big ballroom at the conference, and students have the opportunity to walk up and speak to attorneys and other people responsible for hiring to talk about their interest in the employer, in the practice area in which they work, and also to give them their contact information if they're going to be interested in hiring outside of the pre-scheduled interview process. So it's a great way for students to both get more information and connect directly with students. Each year, the conference has a keynote speaker. The last 2 years, it's been a Supreme Court justice. But this year, they're very fortunate to have Sally Yates, who is a former U.S. Deputy and Acting Attorney General under the Obama administration. This year, I wanted to make sure students had an idea of the kinds of employers that would be participating. There are currently 4 North Carolina employers registered, including the ACLU of North Carolina, the Southern Coalition for Social Justice, and the Mecklenburg County Public Defender's Office in Charlotte. There are organizations working on pretty much every kind of public interest advocacy topic you can think of, from constitutional law issues to public defender work, immigration, disability, women's rights, healthcare. You name it, there's an opportunity for students to participate in something they're interested in. There are approximately 170 employers currently registered. They continue to add to that number as the conference approaches. So I strongly encourage students to take a look at the list when they log on. I've included 2 slides of the employer geographic and practice area breakdown from last year that shows that most of the employers do come from the Atlantic region, which makes sense since this conference takes place in the DC area. You can also see that employers come from throughout the United States to participate. So if a student has an interest in being elsewhere outside of the Southeast or outside of the Mid-Atlantic region, there are opportunities to participate with those employers elsewhere. You can see that even 12% come from the Pacific region. And by type, you can see that a large majority of them come from civil legal aid, criminal defense, which is mostly public defender offices, and those advocacy organizations that I mentioned earlier for every topic under the sun, as well as both federal and state government agencies. A lot of them come to recruit at this particular job fair. There are also other kinds of employers. To participate, students will need to, again, as I mentioned, register by September 14th on the Equal Justice Works website. And in the next slide, you'll see exactly where that is. To submit their materials for pre-selected interviews, usually that's a resume and a cover letter. They may ask for other things based on the employer. And if you like, you can schedule an appointment with the Office of Career and Student Development for help with your application materials, or if you're selected for an interview, for a mock interview so that we can help you get ready to participate in the conference. We can also help students with getting together for carpooling and hotel room sharing reasons. If you have any questions, you can visit the website, which is equaljusticeworks.org. You will click on Law School in the taskbar at the top of the page, select the Conference and Career Fair in the drop-down menu, and then you will see all of the information that's available about how to get registered and to participate in the Conference and Career Fair.
Thank you, Ms. McRaney, and I do encourage students to visit our office to hear personal stories and experience and advice from Ms. McRaney, who has been both as a law student and as a career advisor and has excellent personal experience with Equal Justice Works. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be in touch with more webinars soon.
Thank you, Dean Duncan.
Thank you.